A giant, hairless cat. Many scientists who study cat behavior believe that cats treat humans like very large, slightly strange cats rather than a completely different species. Think about how your cat interacts with you. It rubs its head against your legs. It kneads your lap with its paws. Sometimes it even brings you gifts like toys, socks, or occasionally something less pleasant. In the feline world, these behaviors are not random. Cats usually do these things with other cats they trust and feel comfortable around. Head rubbing, for example, is a way cats share scent and mark members of their social group. Kneading is a sign of comfort and security. When your cat does these things to you, it isn't treating you like a distant creature. Instead, it's interacting with you using the same social signals it would use with another cat. Of course, from your cat's perspective, you're still a very unusual one. You're enormous, mostly hairless, and probably not very graceful compared to a real cat. But despite all that, your cat still accepts you as part of its world. In other words, to your cat, you're basically a giant, slightly clumsy cat that somehow lives in its territory. The food provider. But in your cat's mind, you're not just a giant, hairless cat. You're also something much more important, the creature that controls food. From your cat's perspective, food appears almost like magic. Every day, at roughly the same time, you walk to a specific place in the house, open a container, and suddenly a bowl is filled with something delicious. Cats are extremely observant animals. Over time, they learn to associate your movements with food. That's why your cat often follows you into the kitchen, sits near its bowl, or starts meowing the moment you open a cupboard. To your cat, you are basically a reliable food source with legs. Interestingly, this doesn't mean your cat sees you as a master or leader the way dogs might see their owners. Cats didn't evolve to live in strict hierarchies like dogs or wolves. Instead, they form loose social groups where individuals simply tolerate and benefit from each other. In this relationship, your cat benefits from you because you provide food, warmth, and a safe environment. But from its perspective, the relationship is still somewhat equal. You're not a ruler in your cat's world. You're more like a very useful member of the household, a giant companion who somehow knows how to open cans, refill bowls, and maintain the territory. And once your cat learns that you are the one responsible for food, it quickly realizes something else. Keeping you around is a very good idea. A safe territory. But food isn't the only reason your cat stays close to you. In your cat's mind, you're also something else, a safe place. Cats are naturally cautious animals. In the wild, survival depends on constantly watching for danger. That's why cats rarely relax completely unless they feel secure in their environment. So when your cat chooses to sleep next to you, curl up on your chest, or sit on your lap, it's not just random affection. Those behaviors actually reveal something important about how your cat sees you. From your cat's perspective, you are part of its trusted territory. Cats often mark safe places using scent. When your cat rubs its face against your leg, bumps its head against your hand, or walks across your keyboard, it's spreading scent from glands on its face and body. This scent marking helps create a familiar environment that feels safe. In other words, your cat is quietly saying, "You belong in my world." That's also why many cats choose to sleep on their owners. Sleeping is when animals are most vulnerable. If your cat relaxes enough to fall asleep beside you, it means it believes nothing bad will happen while you're there. To your cat, you're not just the food provider or the giant creature walking around the house. You're part of the safe center of its territory, a living, breathing piece of the environment it trusts the most. And for a cautious animal like a cat, that level of trust is incredibly meaningful. Part of its social group. But there's one more way your cat may see you something even more interesting. In the wild, cats are often thought of as solitary animals, but that's not completely true. When resources are available, cats can form loose social groups, especially among individuals that trust each other. Inside these groups, cats share space, groom one another, and sometimes even sleep together. These behaviors help strengthen social bonds. Now think about how your cat behaves with you. Sometimes it slowly blinks while looking at you. Sometimes it rubs its face against your hand. And sometimes it sits quietly near you, not asking for anything, just staying close. These actions are not random habits. In cat communication, they are actually friendly social signals. For example, the famous slow blink is often called the cat version of a smile. When a cat slowly blinks at another cat, it's showing that it feels relaxed and safe. If your cat does this to you, it means it sees you as someone it can trust. Even grooming behaviors can appear between cats that share strong bonds. Some cats may lick their owner's hair or hands, treating them almost like another member of their group. So while your cat may not see you as a human, it also doesn't see you as just a food machine. In its world, you're something more meaningful. A member of its social circle, an unusual one, maybe, but still part of the family. A creature that needs training. There's one final possibility that might surprise you. In your cat's mind, you might also be the one being trained. Think about how quickly cats learn to influence human behavior. If your cat meows near the food bowl and you immediately refill it, your cat learns something important. Meowing works. If it jumps onto the bed and you start petting it, the message becomes even clearer. This behavior gets attention. Over time, many cats become experts at shaping the actions of the humans around them. They learn which sounds make you wake up, which behaviors make you open the door, and exactly what time to remind you that dinner is late. From the cat's perspective, this isn't manipulation, it's simply communication that works. Animals naturally repeat behaviors that produce results. So, when your cat nudges your hand for attention or sits directly on your keyboard while you work, it may actually be using strategies that have succeeded before. In a way, your cat has discovered something powerful. Humans are very easy to train. You respond to its signals, adjust your routines, and sometimes even rearrange your life around its schedule. So, while you might believe you're the owner, your cat may see the relationship a little differently. To your cat, you're a giant companion, a food provider, a safe place, and perhaps most importantly, a surprisingly trainable creature that happens to live in its home. Or, its strange but favorite companion. After everything we've talked about, one thing becomes clear. Your cat may not see you as a human, but that doesn't mean you're unimportant. In fact, in your cat's world, you might be one of the most important creatures it knows. You're the giant cat that lives in the same territory. The one that provides food every day. The one it feels safe enough to sleep next to. And the one that always responds when it asks for attention. Over time, all of these things create something very powerful in a cat's mind. A bond. Cats may show affection differently than dogs, but they still form strong attachments. That's why many cats follow their owners from room to room, wait near the door when they hear them coming home, or sit quietly beside them while they work. To your cat, you're not just another animal passing through its territory. You're a familiar presence. A strange creature, yes, but also a trusted companion that belongs in its world. And that might be the closest thing to love a cat can show. Now I'm curious about something. If your cat often follows you around the house like a little shadow, comment number 1 below. Let's see how many people here have a cat that refuses to leave them alone. Your cat studies you more than you think. There's one last thing many people don't realize. Your cat is constantly studying you. Cats are extremely observant animals. In the wild, paying attention to small movements, sounds, and patterns is what keeps them alive. And that same instinct applies inside your home. Your cat notices the sound of your footsteps. It learns the difference between the way you walk to the kitchen and the way you walk to the door. Some cats even recognize the exact sound of their owner's car arriving outside. Over time, your cat builds a detailed understanding of your habits. It knows when you usually wake up, when you normally feed it, and when you're most likely to give it attention. That's why many cats appear right before feeding time, even if you haven't touched the food yet. They're not guessing, they're predicting your behavior. To your cat, you're a creature with very predictable routines. And once a cat understands those routines, it can use them to its advantage. It knows when to ask for food, when to demand attention, and when the house will finally become quiet enough for a long nap. So while you might think you're observing your cat has probably been observing you the entire time.